viewers, and welcome once again to another episode of the Top Notch Coaching Network. My name is still Confidence to me, and I'm here once again to mentor you on personal finance. Over the past 10 weeks or more, we've been looking at a very interesting financial series. Personally, I found the series quite interesting because I have been a victim of some of these things I teach. Over the past few weeks, we've been looking at the common money mistakes that people make. And in the last episode, we talked about the mistake of over-investing in fixed assets. Assets like land, assets like furniture, car, and other things. We talked about these assets that over-investing in them can be a money mistake if overdone. And if you want to get more information so as not to be confused on why buying land or cars for your business is wrong, then log on to our channel so you can listen to that teaching and get a better understanding, so you don't conclude on just this one or two words I have spoken. Today we want to look at another vital money mistake that people make, and I think that you should avoid. Today we want to talk about the mistake of not planning for what? Succession. The mistake of not planning for succession. That means you do not plan for who or how your business will continue long after you are gone. In essence, we're talking about not planning who will take over from you when you are no more. So, and in reality and in retrospect, I have seen without any out of that this, in all sincerity, is a very common money mistakes. A lot of people are so narrow-minded, they think nobody else can do their business the way they do it. A lot of people do not trust other people with their business, or do not want to trust other people with their business simply because they think or they believe that the person will either maybe mismanage the business or take over the business or so, and for that reason they do not plan for a successor while they can. A lot of wealthy families, a lot of businesses, a lot of probably without exempting churches as well, make the same mistake. We have seen churches, we have seen businesses, we have seen families that were well to do before and that became bankrupt or that closed down after the death of the founder. And one of the reasons is because there was no concrete plan for a successor. And if you are hearing me and you're listening to me now and you're a business person, I implore you that as you grow in your business, as you continue your business, or your business has grown already, that it's imperative that you start planning for a successor. When we talk about succession, we're talking about thinking beyond yourself. We're talking about planning generationally, empowering the next generation, everything that has to do with beyond you. It's not about you, it's about the future, it's about what happens in your absence. If you do not intend or do not want your business to live when you are gone, or to continue existing long after you are gone, you may not take what I am saying serious. But if your plan is to ensure that your business outlives you, is to ensure that your business continues to do well even when you are no more, or even when you are too old to run it. Then it's important for you to start looking at succession, because it is the one thing that can guarantee the continuous existence of your business when you are too old, when you resign, or when you are no more. I like what John Mason said about succession. He said that the true measure or the true value of a successful leader is the fact that he or she has what? A successor. John Mason said that a successful leader without a successor is a successful failure. Yes, a leader without a successful successor is a successful failure. So if you do not want to be a successful failure, it's imperative that you begin to plan. You begin to put concrete plans, take concrete steps to ensure that your business outlives you, that your children after you inherits from what you have been able to put in place while you were able. In one of Lumide's book, the 50 common money mistake, he gave a statistics about wealth transmission, or how why wealth dies off. First, he said that the first generation is of the wealthy people, or the wealthy family or so, is a building family. That means that there is a building generation, the generation that builds the wealth. Then the second generation is the maintenance kind of generation. They maintain the wealth that was handed to them from the first generation of the wealth builders. And then the third and last generation is the entitlement generation, who feels entitled to the wealth of the business, the family, or whatever. And for that reason, the wealth does not transcend generationally, it dies along the way. And so it's because I am quite convinced that if succession plan is put in place, that wealth can be transmitted from generation to generation, as long as a successor is in place. Wealth can be transmitted. If after hearing me you feel you should begin to take steps into putting a successor in place, I want to give you one or two guidelines that will actually be of help to you as you decide to make this decision or take this step. One of them is this: you do not wait until you are old and senile before you begin to think, or before you choose a successor. You don't do that. You don't wait for old age. You don't wait till you're senile, till you're unable to think properly or productively anymore before you plan or pick a successor. You can do that while you are still active. You can earmark one person. You just make sure that you are not too old and senile for you to pick a successor. You don't wait till that time. And secondly, you do not pick a successor, whether for your family, whether for your business or anything. Do not pick a successor according to age or by gender. Pick a successor by competence and capacity. Do not pick your first son because he is your first son. Do not pick your daughter because she is your first daughter or anything. Pick a successor based on the person's competence and capabilities. And finally, before I round up, I also want to say that over time, from my studies basically, I have come to see that the best way to have a successor, or to put succession plans into place effectively, is to have a system. You see, if you do not have a system, I do not know how you're going to be able to have a successor that will succeed you and that will succeed the successor after you. Take the banks for instance. The owners or the founders might have been long dead and gone, but these banks keep and continue existing, notwithstanding the fact that the founders have either resigned or are dead. Banks have over time survived every economy and all, a lot of them, but the thing is, it's easy for them because they have a system. So if you want to be successful in planning for successor, you need to have systems that works for you, your family, your organization, that will enable you pick a successor, that even when you are gone, the system helps to put a protocol in place that will enable the company, the family, or anything pick a successor even when you are no more. And this is where we'll run it up for today. When I come back next week, we'll talk about that will be the last episode for this teaching. Till I come away again next time, thank you and keep subscribing.